All right, now on to our 3-leg moneyline underdog parlay. This one's gonna hit. Pretty sure of it. Anthony, you can go first.
Yeah, I'm going to take Strasbourg plus 200 at home. You could probably guess who they're playing. They're hosting Marseille. Strasbourg is probably the most puzzling team in all of Europe for me, based on what I expected them to be at the beginning of the season and what they've actually been. And I know we've backed them on this show. I think I picked them as an underdog a couple weeks ago, and they gave up a red card. They had a goal varred off and then conceded a red card like a minute later and got crushed, which has pretty much been their whole season. They're in 16th. Their underlying numbers are bad. They are, somewhat of a positive regression candidate from just like a talent perspective. I mean, they're much better than the 16th best team in France. They really should be pushing for the top half of the table based on the collection of players. And like at some point, I just think that this has to turn around. Marseille has regressed. They've lost 3 in a row in Ligue 1, and they lost in the Champions League. So the only win that they've had in the last month was the game I bet against them. Against Lisbon when they got 2 red cards. So that is basically 4 straight dud performances from Marseille. And I don't think they're a very good team. And I think they're going on the road against another not very good team, but I'm getting plus 200 to fade them. And I think Strasbourg's going to start playing better at some point. Dead cat bounce, please. Please, Strasbourg.
My favorite pooch is West Ham. They're plus 375. On the road against Manchester United, a sell high spot on United, who have lost 1 match, it seems like, in 3 months now, and it was against Man City. They got pasted, but West Ham, they should profile well as a big underdog considering their defense, second in non-penalty expected goals allowed per 90 minutes, 6 in shots allowed, 6 in expected threat, and 5th in big scoring chances. We know that David Moyes' side punch up really well as underdogs in this spot, famously beat Liverpool last season. I like them to be able to do it again. So West Ham plus 375. It's my dog. BJ.
Vallecano plus 310 on the road at Sevilla. Jorge Sampaoli has come in, and Sevilla is still just as bad as ever. They obviously their best performance has honestly been against Dortmund in the second meeting where they held Dortmund to 0.4 expected goals. Well, then they went on the road to Mallorca. They won 1-0. They scored on their very first shot, which came in the 55th minute. They created 0.2 expected goals. Then they hosted Valencia and just an absolutely chaotic match that ended with a saved penalty in the 100th minute. But they lost the expected goals battle 1.8 to 1.1. They go to Real Madrid. They get absolutely pasted. And then they played Copenhagen in the Champions League. They won 3-0. They lost the expected goals battle. So this team is still just as horrible as ever. And Vallecano actually does have a positive expected goal differential and is sitting in the middle of the table. So I'm sorry, Sevilla, who has, they're a -1 XG differential per 90, and we're 11 matches into the La Liga season. Like that's still really bad. Like there's really no signs that the Sevilla team is actually trending towards being back towards even in the top half of the table. So give me Vallecano and continue on with the Sevilla fade.
West Ham, Strasbourg, and Vallecano. 57-1. That money line parlay pays out. Put a little extra Halloween cash in your pocket, I think, with that one, because it feels like a lot.